we would like to convert a linear equation in two variables written in standard form, such as this example here, into slope-intercept form in order to help us find the slope of the linear equation. Let's remember what that slope-intercept form looks like. I'm going to write that over here as our goal. It's to rewrite our equation in the form y equals some number times x plus b. And that number, and b is also a number here. And what we know, the reason we care so much, is this number m here is the slope of the graph. It is the slope. So we have begun with this equation, 2x plus 9y equals -6. The first step when I solve an equation like this, we're trying to isolate y. We want y by itself. And so our first step is going to be to subtract any terms from the left-hand side of the equation involving x from both sides so that the y term is by itself. So in this case, that means I'm going to seek out this term 2x here, and I'm going to want to subtract both sides of that from both sides of the equation. So I'm going to subtract 2x from the left-hand side and 2x from the right-hand side. Here's a pro tip when you do this work. Make sure that you leave yourself room so that when you subtract whatever that term is you're subtracting on the right, we're going to go ahead and rewrite the equation with the x term written first. And you'll see why that makes it easier in just a moment. On the left-hand side of the equation, we had 2x plus 9y. We subtract the 2x. The only term remaining is the 9y term, and that was our goal. We were subtracting anything we needed to, so the only term remaining on the one side of the equation was the term involving y. Next step. We now have a multiple of y, but we want y by itself. So our next step is to multiply or divide by something to make the coefficient on y equal to 1. So we're going to multiply or divide by a number that will make the coefficient on y 1. Now, typically we like to think of this as doing a division. So it's perfectly fine to think of this as dividing both sides of the equation by 9 in this case, since 9 is the current coefficient on y. 9y divided by 9 will just be 1y. You are so welcome to do it this way. One thing I notice when we tend to write fractions is often we forget that that division has to happen to both terms of the right-hand side of the equation. And one way you can avoid making the mistake of forgetting is once you've rewritten the left-hand side as just y, and that right-hand side, write it as 1/9 times what had been the right-hand side written in parentheses. So here I'm using the fact that dividing by a number is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. Once I've written it in this form, now I just have to remember to distribute, which for whatever reason is something we tend to forget less frequently. And so I get 1/9 times -2x minus 1/9 times 6 in this example. And from there, simplifying 1/9 times -2x would be -2/9 times x. And then I have minus 6/9. I also could choose to rewrite this as -2/3. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's make it as nice as we can. -2/3. So just a note over here on this side, 6/9 equals 2/3. Now look at the form we currently have the equation in here. Notice that this maps to my y equals mx plus b form. The -2/9 is the number being multiplied by x. And what is my b? Well, remember that subtracting a number is the same thing as adding a negative number. So I can see that my b is negative 2/3. Concluding the problem, I have the slope is m equals negative 2/9. And what we will talk a lot more about in class today, the y-intercept point is 0, negative 2/3.